I like to begin any feature that I do with the work of other poets, so I'm going to read John Keats's On the Grasshopper and the Cricket. The poetry of earth is never dead. When all the birds are faint with the hot sun, and hide in cooling trees a voice will run, from hedge to hedge about the new mown mead. That is the grasshopper's. He takes the lead in summer luxury. He has never done with his delights, for when, tired out with fun, he rests at ease beneath some pleasant weed, the poetry of earth is ceasing never. On a lone winter evening, when the frost has wrought a silence, from the stove there shrills the cricket song, in warmth increasing ever, and seems to one in drowsiness half lost, the grasshoppers among some grassy hills. John Keats. And on the grasshopper theme, I'll do Guillaume Apollinaire's La Sauterelle. La Sauterelle, it's from his Bestiaire. Voici la fine sauterelle, la nourriture de Saint-Jean, puise mes vers être comme elle, le régal de meilleurs gens. Behold the fine grasshopper, the food of St. John. Would that my verses be like her, a feast for the best of men. Guillaume Apollinaire. And now on to my work. I actually have some grasshopper and cricket and cicada stuff, but I won't be doing that. Instead, I'll be reading from two poems from Seriously Serial, which are it's a collection, an old chapbook. It's due to be released later this year, re-released in a revised edition. I have a section in here called Ways of Unbeing, and since I wrote this book, 2 of the people have died who are subjects of that section. The most recent being Ariel Sharon. So we have ethereal Sharon. Flesh drained of its bloated bulge and bulldozing bombast, remains in suspended animation on its hospital bed, dozing. O you who strutted proud on the Temple Mount, are now a mound of tempered pride, your spirit drifting up over the Golan Heights, a massive embolism in the sky, aerial and ethereal, no more threats, condition stable. My most recent book is Eye Candy for Andy, which is about 13 of the screen tests that Andy Warhol took. One of the subjects of it is Edie Sedgwick, who is his protege from about 65 to 1965
Little
to
Miss
66.
S in the mini dress.
What's that?
Little Miss S in the mini dress.
Oh yes, yes. And she's also one of the subjects of Seriously Serial in the section called Daughters of the Revolution. And by that I mean heiresses gone bad. Edith Sedgwick, snowing, showing, glowing. Where is she? Tucked away at Silver Hill, her connection in Connecticut, snowing. Or showing on the silver screen, glowing silver in the factory, silver-haired like Andy Eye Candy for all, the quintessence of the hipness of cool or the coolness of hip. This youth Quaker rises to the screen, ethereal, reflected spectacularly in the silver tinsel. And behind the tinsel, barbed wire. Another recent mortuary statistic, unfortunately, was the great Lou Reed. And I'll read the poem based on his screen test. A friend of mine took the screen tests in question, the stills from the screen test, and sort of manipulated them enough to avoid having to pay the Andy Warhol Museum rights to reproduce the images. So she has him in the screen test. He's drinking a Coca-Cola. Here she just reproduced the Cokes. Lou Reed, and these are short. With eyes disguised, one pop icon drinks another pop. Nico. There are worse sins than nicotine, nicophilia, nicomania, nicolatria, nicodulaya, nicosis, and she nictates and takes dictation. And one of my blurbists is Billy Name, who was the official photographer of Andy Warhol's factory, and he's the one who gave Andy the idea of decorating everything in silver, the aluminum foil and the silver paint on everything.
Including the balloon?
Yes, because that was a later addition that derived from Billy Name's aesthetic, which became Andy Warhol's aesthetic, eventually to his wigs, which were silver. So Billy Name's real name was William Linich. He lives up in Poughkeepsie, New York, and we have a mutual friend, actually. And he, like Lou Reed, also wears his shades, so his eyes are disguised. Billy Name. Lighting by Billy, lit by Billy, lining by Billy, silver by Billy, and what's in a name, with eyes disguised, named by Billy. And now, some longer stuff. Actually, they're short, but it has this long apparatus, which I'm not going to read the entire thing of. This is called I Sing of Viking Ships and Rivers, on the deaths of Ingmar Bergman and Michelangelo Antonioni on July 30th, 2007. And the epigraph in Swedish and Italian. From sperm to spöke, al di là delle nuvole, which means from sperm to ghost and beyond the clouds. Both of those are the names of projects of either of the great filmmakers who died on the same day. A Viking ship turned tumulus lies buried on an isle, or was it put upon the sea and set on fire in style? So, set adrift in northern seas it burns, and stands a pile. It burns no more, and stands for nothing. It drifts in swill and bile. A voyage on the River Po, in misty nebulosity, a steamer, tramp, or cargo ship, a giant red monstrosity pulled into port beyond the clouds. A witness to atrocity. It drifts through stratocumulus in turbid luminosity, in secret reciprocity. Jefferson lives, not Styx, Acheron, Cocytus, Phlegethon, Lethe.